Trench Crusade has been an interesting study in the wargaming community over the last year or so. There was a lot of hype around it to start, and the reason the hype generated was because of the fact that Trench Crusade was an alternative to Warhammer 40k that kind of had that grimdark feel. It had the armies fighting, so you had it, even though it was a historical fiction, kind of more fantasy-ish, it still scratched that same kind of itch, just setting-wise. And, of course, they looked like they were doing a lot of cool-looking things with the miniatures. That's a big thing. And so there was a lot of buzz that generated around it. And as Warhammer 40k just started to not cater to their own lore and their own audience, the new edition really dumbed things down quite a bit. And of course, we know that the female Adeptus Custodes controversy broke. A lot of people were jumping over to Trench Crusade as an alternative. Now, a lot blew up with this during the process. Trench Crusade had a Kickstarter, which was one of the most successful of all time, and some controversies erupted, which almost sank the game, and it didn't. It continued on. And so this is what's happening right now. It's actually a massive success, and Trench Crusade is still a massive success, and it's looking like it's going to continue to be that way, at least in the short term. So we'll go over all the controversies and just how they've overcome it, because we just report on what's going on here. I know a lot of people like to hear, like, oh, people, this failed because of blah, 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 but, we're honest, and this is the difference between us and a lot of other channels out there, is that we talk about what's going on. Now, Trench Crusade, I don't think, is in an irredeemable position. I think most of the problems they have is within Discord community managers and the like. I don't think it's actually impacting the game itself much, which is actually a lot of what mitigates this, but we'll see how it goes along, because there's only so much that the player base, that the normal people player base can tolerate before they go, okay, we've had enough. Fortunately, Trench Crusade hasn't really done that so much, like I said, outside of the Discord, so I don't think it spread much to the wired or public, but there are some problems going on as well, which we'll address. So please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us here. I am a science fiction writer. If you like science fiction and fantasy, please check out My Valiant Frontiers. This is a new space exploration book trilogy. Beautiful stuff. If you love the classics in science fiction, you're going to enjoy this. Each one of them has a standalone sci-fi concept that's unique to its own book. It's got a beautiful crew, wonderful characterizations in here. You're going to love this if you like science fiction. Back this today. Support our channel. It's in the description below. Thank you guys so much so far for making this go, and I appreciate you guys being here. Okay, so Trench Crusade, one of the most successful indie top games in recent history, indie tabletop games. Despite a number of controversies surrounding it, the fan base seems to be continuing to support the game, and which is interesting by itself. It took Kickstarter by storm in 2024, made $3.3 million off of its Kickstarter through 20,000 backers. People were very, very hype about this game. So what is it? Trench Crusade is set in a nightmarish alternate reality where the real world's first crusade of 1099 goes unimaginably wrong. In its universe, the victorious Knights Templar uncover a demonic relic beneath Jerusalem that corrupts them and leads to the opening of a literal gate to hell. A hell gate opens, yes. The holy city is consumed, demonic forces pour through the world and permanently altering history. The game's timeline jumps forward 800 years to a diesel punk version of 1914 to a world mired by endless holy war between the forces of heaven and hell, fought against continents ravaged by infernal trench warfare. The states and armies clash with gas, artillery, and relic tech powered by alchemy and divine energy, and all of the theocratic world order and religions, of course, are about all of life right there. And so that's what this all sets up. Very interesting as all these different factions come apart with one another, and that's what it is. So by comparison, how this is, it's gone even further. So the late pledges, STL sales, added more revenue, pushing the total close to or above $8 million, according to community and media reports about this, which is interesting. So games like Dead Zone or Confrontation Classic earned half that amount during their debut campaigns, which means this is an unusually strong reception for a new IP. A lot of the hype came from Warhammer 40k fans, as I mentioned, and then there was the Discord server deal. And the Discord server started banning people. They put in the Clout Goblin leftist sort of influencers in there, like Kaya Nornqueen, as moderators. And those people went in to try to gatekeep the fandom and try to just push out anybody who was right-wing. Any of the refugees from Warhammer 40k, they just hunted them out and hunted them across Twitter. If they found them on Twitter, they'd find them in the Discord, make sure they're banned, and then ban them out of there. So I had to deal with it at first. Kaya seemed reasonable at first, and then went off the deep end of course, gatekeeping and, of course, attacking. And that's exactly what her whole clout system's about. So pretty ugly on that level. I got banned from the Trench Crusade Discord. Now, this was posted to Reddit, and it said, Trench Crusade is not your tradcath political haven. It looks like we got an influx of folks who think Trench Crusade is anti-woke, promotes tradcath values. Here's some facts for you. 28 Mag is punk and queer and always will be. And that's, they're, of course, friends of Trench Crusade. Go read the magazine's editions. The writers and artists of Trench Crusade are outwardly not right-wing. They range from pretty moderate to progressive. The lore does not pitch the forces of God outwardly as doing the right thing. You won't find support of any aspects of this game if you're scared of the gay agenda. Go somewhere else. Now, that post got deleted from their Reddit. So it looks like they don't want to embroil themselves in political controversies, but because of the way that the Discord's handled things, that's exactly why this sort of thing sort of came up to begin with. Now, all that kind of went away, and it's been several months, and a lot of people have just forgotten about it because it's the internet. Everybody forgets about things after a week. And now the Kickstarter has been starting to fulfill over the last month or two. Now, there's been problems with this. Some backers said they didn't get it. Here's one saying, I've emailed them multiple times about my Trench Pilgrims. I keep getting an email with Kickstarter updates instead of actually answering my questions. I keep getting told this by this page that it will be looked into, then nothing. It's becoming ridiculous. Lack of communication is not a good look. Somebody else said, anybody still missing their good orders? I'm getting a little worried about mine. Any update? I haven't received anything still. No status changed on backerkit.com aside from locked. Then somebody actually got there, said, I'm missing quite a bit from my order. Not a single piece of terrain was sent. Not a single warband. I only received the base models and factions, not any warbands. I'm missing a heavy mech gunner, Hell Knight with axe, pit locust, and assassin. The guy followed up saying, crouching anti-tag communicant missing as well, as yeoman and shock trooper multi-parts. Came in one box missing, every single piece of terrain, nothing to identify the models but no shipping manifest or checklist, all mixed together, warped and crushed when this missing stuff came in. Many models missing. It's a nightmare. Expected much more from $1,100 is what he spent on this. So it looks like they're charging Warhammer prices to start things out as well. Yikes. Not only that, but there were more complaints about quality from the backers. It's been over a month since I requested my replacement order, one said. My entire order is having to be replaced due to uncured resin and missing miniatures. I've still not had an update regarding this. Another said, this is my first time backing a Kickstarter. I never will be doing it again. I waited almost a full year to receive my minis, which is not very long, actually, for one of these Kickstarter things, believe it or not. If you've ever been, I'm a board gamer. If you've backed board games and the like, I sometimes like, I will forget I backed a board game like 3-4 years later. It comes in and I'm like, oh yeah, this. Everyone had bent pieces, leftover supports, and had uncured resin coming off my hands. More than a month ago, I requested replacement minis, and as of today, I can't get any kind of answer. Making customers wait a full year then providing no update on receiving their product is unacceptable. I will not be supporting them again. Like I said, I think this guy, if he's been around the hobby a long time, that's a little aggressive saying 1 year is too much there. But hey, somebody said, just received my mini. All are present. A few of them still feel a little tacky to the touch. Is this normal? And they got a response on this. Hey, this is quite strange. Your models should not feel tacky. As long as the print quality is good, you could put them in direct sunlight for a few minutes, and that should sort it. If that doesn't work, contact them. So I guess those didn't get cured all the way. Interesting on the quality issues right there. Now, they might be fixing this. And so Kickstarter, this is their first effort. You know, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. And it looks like they are moving to plastic miniatures now that they've made a lot of money off their stuff. They're upgrading their deal. Now, this is a big deal because plastic miniatures are way higher quality. They're way easier to paint, way easier to handle. And that is something that, of course, miniature aficionados like. And so this puts them on par with Warhammer 40K and puts them in a spot where they're actually competing with them. This is a big deal. Now, this is like, again, the mitigation to everything that's happening to the Kickstarter. So despite that controversy, it looks like they are improving. Despite the political controversies last year, it looks like they're just trying to just stay out of the politics for the most part. And that's probably a good thing. That's a lot of what you can ask on this. Now, of course, a lot of the woke influencers are declaring victory, and they're doing so across X, etc. But they, again, are not officially affiliated with these people. They can do whatever they want, just like anybody else can. It is annoying that Discord, which is technically not their official Discord, bans people and acts like this. But again, I don't see this coming from Trench Crusade directly, so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And I may be too nice. I'm a nice person. It is what it is. So this is one of their new ones, the Prussian warband right here. You can see it. Like I said, the miniatures look very pretty. Very cool stuff. And this is the new set. They're going to be doing more retail box sets of these plastic miniatures coming in November as well, and it looks like they're just upgrading overall. So Trench Crusade has an opportunity right here really to become a Warhammer 40k competitor. As long as they stay out of the left-wing politics crap, as long as they keep upping the quality of their game, I really think that they have a shot to do things right and go forward. What do you guys think about this? Please leave a comment down below. Love to hear from you. Hit the like and subscribe button. Check out Valiant Frontiers if you like science fiction and fantasy. You're going to love this series. Really appreciate you guys for supporting. We'll be back soon.